Hi everyone, I'm Kanishka from Dwemski, and today I'm back with another video where we are going to talk about Sales Accelerator in Microsoft Dynamics 365. So let's get into the video. Imagine that you are a sales manager at a growing IT solutions company. Your team is assigned with generating leads, nurturing prospects, and closing deals in a highly competitive market. However, you are facing some challenges. Like your sales representatives spend a lot of time sifting through a large pool of leads trying to identify the most promising ones. There is a lack of consistency in how the sales activities are executed, which leads to missed opportunities and inefficiencies. Also, personalizing interactions with the prospects is a struggle, which results in a lower engagement and conversion rates. And here comes the Sales Accelerator in rescue. Sales Accelerator is a collection of app pages, automation tools, and integrations that help your sales team to be more productive and focus on the most important customers. It helps them to sell smartly by building a strong and prioritized pipeline, offering context, and surfacing automated recommendations throughout the sales sequence that helps them to accomplish the sales process more quickly. By default, Sales Accelerator is available in the Sales Hub application with limited functionalities. Your sales team can view the work list items created through the timeline for contact, opportunity, lead, and account records. For setting up Sales Accelerator, sign into your Sales app. Change the area from Sales to Sales Insight Settings. Now, under the Sales Accelerator, click on Workspace. Now, here click on Quick Setup. First, you will choose here for what security roles you want to set up this Sales Accelerator. You have two options. You can choose for all security roles, or otherwise you can choose the specific roles. If you're choosing specific security role, you need to specify for which roles you want to assign this. For now, I'm choosing it for all security roles. And here, now we will choose the record type and form we want for our Sales Accelerator. By default, here we have lead record type. But if we want to add some other record types, we can click on add record type. And from the drop down, we can choose the records that we want to have. And then we will choose the specific form type. Then click on publish. So now the Sales Accelerator workspace is enabled and ready to use in your organization. Here the workspace have many options. You can manage, assess and record type again and update it from here. And also you can customize your workspace, filtering, sorting and the work item appearances as per your requirement. Before I tell you how to use Sales Accelerator as per your requirement, let us see how it will be presented to the sellers in Dynamics 365. So for that, I will again change area from Sales Insight Settings to Sales. I'll go to Sales Accelerator. Here we have multiple components under Sales Accelerator. The first thing, work list. This list basically displays all the records that are assigned to you or the security role you are associated with. This basically helps you to assess all the records that include activities in one place instead of navigating across multiple forms in the application. Here you can see all the actions are tied up to lead or opportunity record. When a user selects an action on the work list, the associated opportunity or the lead record will open up on the right hand side of the work list. Users can filter, users can sort, and users can search for the current actions in the work list. Users can view the next action that is due for the given date in the up next widget. Here the current action needs to be completed to get to the next action. The actions can be skipped, snoozed, or can be assigned to anyone in your organization. And also you can create a note for the same. The actions can be performed by clicking on the action button. And in the similar way, if the action is completed, it can be marked as completed. So now it is closed and moved to completed items, and the next upcoming action will become active. So these upcoming actions basically allow users to see what is coming up next. Now let us see how can you start your work with Sales Accelerator. And for the same, I will change area from sales to sales insight settings and will go to sequences. In a sequence, you list all the tasks that you want your sellers to do and the order they should be done. This helps sellers to focus on selling and makes it clearer what they should do next. Once a sequence is made, it can be linked to leads or opportunities. So when the sellers are working on assessing a lead or growing an opportunity, they will first receive a suggested list of actions to take based on the linked sequence. So now to create a sequence, click on new sequence, and here you can see you have multiple templates that you can start from. But if you want to create a sequence from scratch, you will click on start from blank. So for now, I am clicking on start from blank. First, you will name your sequence, whatever you want, and then you can have a description for the same. And then you can choose for what particular record type you want to have your sequence for. So for now, I'm choosing it as a lead and then click on next. Now that we have created a sequence, now we are going to start to build out the steps. Each step basically represents an activity or a task that needs to be done, like an email that needs to be sent or a call that needs to be made. In sequence, we can configure which kind of activity needs to be completed and the time in between one activity and the next. So, for example, if I am going to create a sequence which will start by sending out an email to our lead, and then it will wait for 1 day, and then it will automatically give you suggestion to make up a call. So for that, we will start by adding up a action. It can be basically a step, a condition, a command, and LinkedIn. For now, I am just having a basic step here, that is send an email. I will click on this. First, we will give the title to our email, and then we can have the description. After that, if you want to also have a specific template added here, you can click on add template, and here you are having multiple templates to choose from. After that, click on this icon, and now I want to have a wait time, so I'll click on add an action and we'll go to steps and we'll set a wait time. So here we will configure the wait steps. I will choose the day as 1 and hours as 0. So after the mail is sent to our lead, it will wait for 1 day and then we can make a follow-up call to the lead. I will add another action, that is make a phone call. Once you have created your sequence, click on save and then click on activate. Now once your sequence gets activated successfully, you need to associate sequences with Dynamics 365 records. To do so, you can make the association manually on individual records, or you can have them associated automatically. If you want to associate records manually, go to connected leads, click on connect leads, and here you will have all the lead records that you are having in your system, and you can here manually choose for which particular records you want to have your sequence for. I'll click on connect. So this is how you do it manually. But if you want to assign the records automatically, like if you want to assign a specific kind of lead records to your sequence, for that, you can connect them using segments. A segment is basically a collection of records that are grouped together based on the certain conditions, such as location, deal value, language, or products. And to create segments, click on work assignment, and here click on new segment. Give your segment a name, give a description, and here you can also specify the priority of the segment you are creating. Here you can choose this field when a record matches the criteria in multiple segments, and you can change it anytime you want. Then click on next. Now here, the segment designer page will open up where you will define the actual criteria for your segment. So we will click on add. Here we have three options: add row, add group, and add related entity. For now, I will click on add row, and here I will choose the specific field that I want to have my segment created. For example, I want to get all the leads whose rating is hot. So I will choose the field as rating equals hot. You can have multiple rows and multiple conditions as per your requirement. Then click on save. Then click on activate to make the sequence live. Now, when it is activated, you can connect the segment to a sequence or a record. To associate a segment to sequence, you can go to sequence and add a segment from there also. And from here, you can also attach a sequence. When an organization generates a new leads and opportunities in Microsoft Dynamics 365, the system usually designates individuals to handle them. Like, for example, a new lead is expressing interest in a particular product line. This thing is assigned to someone knowledgeable about this particular line, which increases the likelihood of qualifying the lead or securing the opportunity. Here comes assignment rule in picture. Assignment rules define how the leads and opportunities are automatically distributed to the sellers. When you create a lead or an opportunity that meets the specific conditions that have been defined in those rules, the system will automatically assign the record to the appropriate seller. This automated process saves time and optimizes the workload across your sales team. So for this, we will go to Assignment Rules tab and we will click on New Rule. And they are saying that to use assignment rules, you first need to define the team assess in the team settings. So we will click on Go to Team Settings. And here click on Define Team Assess. Here we have two options. You can choose for all security roles or you can choose for specific security roles. Now, for example, if I want to assign my leads to those users who have the salesperson security role, so I will select the salesperson security role here and will click on save. And in the similar way, we can specify more security roles. And here you can see the users with this particular security role. In the similar way, the users with this specific role will be listed here. We can do multiple things by selecting this user. First, we can set this capacity for this user. It means that we are specifying the number of leads and opportunity records that we can assign to this particular user at one time. For now, I'm keeping it as by default. So I'll click on cancel. And then you can also apply attributes to your users. Like, for example, you might want to group sellers according to the languages that they can speak. So we can click on apply attributes. Now, because there are no attributes already defined, so we will first define the attributes. So we will click on manage here and we will click on add attributes. I'm having my name of attribute as language. Then to set the attribute values, we have two options. We can directly pull the value from the data field here. Otherwise, we can create it manually. Here I am creating it manually and I am adding the first language as English. Then click on enter. And then I am having my next language as German and click on enter. So these two languages I am adding for this particular seller attribute. And now you can select create seller attribute. In the similar way, you can have multiple attributes for your users. Make sure that you assign the language attributes to the seller so that when you create an assignment rule to assign records, it automatically goes to those sellers who know the language. And then you can also set availability for your user. You can select the user and then click on set availability. By default, the CRM calendar is selected here. And here sellers can set up work hours and vacation days by using this Dynamics 365 calendar in the personal settings. But if you want to go for another option for that, you can go to sequences, click on settings, and here under the seller availability tab, you can switch on this seller availability settings and from then you can choose Outlook. So for now, I am keeping it as by default as it was earlier. So I'll click on cancel and I'll go back to the work assignment. So now under this work assignment, we will open our segment that we have just created. And now finally we will create the assignment rule. So click on add rule We will start by specifying the name of the rule, and then we will choose the eligible leads for this rule. By default, the segment that we have created is automatically selected here. Otherwise, if we want to add some more conditions, then we can click here and we can add the conditions. And you can check on this option to specify a time frame that you want to assign your leads within. Like if there is no seller available to take the record within the set time frame, then the system will mark the record as overdue. After that, we will choose this option, assign these leads to a seller, team, or a queue. Here we have multiple options. If you want to assign this to some seller, then you have three options. If you want to assign it to team, you have two options, and for queue, you have two options. So for now, I want to assign my leads to the sellers with the matching attributes that we have created. So I will click on this second option. And from this also, if I want to use the existing fields, then I will click on this option. So now because I want to assign the leads using the attributes I created, so I'll click on this. And after that, we will specify the attributes. Click on add and then click on the attribute that we want. And the attribute should equal to English. Only then the leads will be assigned to those particular sellers. Now we will choose how to distribute the leads. We have two options, round robin and load balancing. When it comes to round robin, here the system distributes the leads based on cyclic basis to the sellers who are qualified to receive the lead based on the conditions of the assignment rule. But when it comes to load balancing, here the system distributes the leads among the sellers depending on their current workload. This approach basically helps to ensure that all the sellers are equally busy. And then you can check this option if you want to consider the seller's work schedule when you are assigning the lead. And otherwise, you can check this option if you want to consider the maximum number of leads that a seller can handle at once. So for now, I'll click on this option. So this is how we create the assignment rules. Now we will test whatever we have created in our sales application. Before that, make sure that your segment is active, defined, connected to assignment rules, and attached to a sequence. So now we will jump to our sales application and we will create a fresh lead. I will click on new. So I have created a lead here named as Lisa Perry, who is having a requirement of 200 coffee machines and she is a manager at Coffee House. So I have added the required information here. And before saving this record, I will change the rating from warm to hot because only if the rating of your lead is hot, at that time only it will get assigned to the user and it will get connected to the sequence. So this was the criteria. And now I'll click on save. Now here in the up next widget, we can see we have an option to connect the sequence. So I'll click on connect sequence. And here we will choose the sequence that we have created and click on connect. Now we get the notification that it was connected successfully. And here in the timeline also it is visible that we have to first send the email. And for now I'll just refresh the form again. And here in the up next widget, we can see how a sequence looks like. And I will again refresh this record. And here you can see owner was earlier Kanushka Sharma and now it is assigned to the dummy user because the user which is having the attributes as language English, only that user will be assigned this lead. So this is how the sales accelerator works. And now we can also check how it looks like from the perspective of this particular dummy user. So here you can see I have signed in as dummy user. And here under my sales accelerator, I am having the lead which was assigned to me by Kanishka Sharma. And from here, the dummy user can filter the records, he can sort it, and he can perform some other actions as well. So this is how the sales accelerator helps the sales manager to work on the sales application. Like here, the dummy user will come to sales accelerator, he will check his work list and he will work on the work items one by one. Like for example, he will click on this Lisa Perry record and he will check on the up next widget here What are the steps to be taken? So this was all an overview about how a sales accelerator work. I hope that this video is helpful for you all. If you like this video, don't forget to follow us. Thank you and have a great day.